that, and then that, and then, come on. All right, there we go. Yay! All right, cool. We're on. Yes. Okay. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. It's an interesting day. Interesting day. Here, let me here, do myself. I'm trying to get myself situated, guys. So please be kind. Please be kind. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Okay. Get this going here. Okay. Perfect. Yes, perfect. Okay, now we're good. It's like I needed to get this set up so that way I could have light, because I don't feel like putting on my big light. I just kind of want to be like a little bit darker. So that's where I'm at. I didn't even turn on my candles. I'm like I was just like totally trying to get myself caught up here. So that's what that's about. I have literally nothing to drink, y'all. So I will be right back. I'm going to go get myself something to drink so I can get myself right. So y'all can start putting your questions in, and I'll get to y'all when I get back, when I get my drink. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Woosah, y'all. Hi, everybody. Okay, I'm here. I got my coffee because I need my little coffee. I always have to have something to drink when I'm doing these. I'm gonna warn y'all. I got a massive headache, like massive. And I already took something for it. It's not going away. So I'm probably not gonna do videos just because my brain's not there. So my brain is like super painful right now. So unless like whatever I took makes it go away, then we'll go ahead and I'll do some videos. But I'm just going to do text version right now. And I probably will do text version for the rest of the time as well, okay? All right. Hey, guys. All right. So let me get to what I need to get to. So, okay. Yeah. So my statements are personal opinions, not proven facts. Whatever decisions or actions you take in your life, you are 100% responsible and liable for. You can change your future. It's never set in stone. I know a lot of people worry about that, but you really can if you want to. And I am not a licensed medical doctor, counselor, attorney, or law enforcement official. So for legal medical advice or treatment, please consult a licensed professional. You can always change the future. It is never set in stone. If you enjoyed these lives or you enjoy the readings, then give me a thumbs up or a heart, and share this with anyone and everyone. So if you want to share it with your friends, or you want to share it with people that you think will probably benefit from having a reading, you can go ahead and do so. If you're on YouTube and Facebook, you might get hit by a troll. So if someone messages you and asks you to message them or private message them, they're probably going to try to take your money. That's just the way they do it. They're like, I call them like fleas. They're like literally like writing on the back of my business, and they're trying to like get people like, hey, yeah, you know, like, I know you want a reading, come to me. Don't buy into it, y'all. They're going to take your money and you're going to get nothing out of it. So be careful about that, and just report them as spam or block them. And there have been some that were smart enough that they tried to use my name, but it's not me, because even if you're on Facebook or Instagram, even if you're on Facebook or on YouTube, if it isn't my actual direct account, but it's got a Fernando, then it's not me. And I only have 2 accounts on Facebook, the professional one and my private one. What else? If you want to know more about what I do, or if you get tired of waiting for me to answer your question and you just want to book a session with me or book some time with me, just go to my website. Everything is on there, all pricing options, etc. Sometimes it's interesting because people will message and they ask for how to make an appointment, but there's like literally a book button right there. So like if you're on Instagram and you want to message somebody, when you go to message, like there's a button next to it that says book appointment. I'm like, wait, it's like right there. Why are you asking? So it's just funny. And the same thing with like Messenger and stuff. Like the website's there. If you want to make an appointment, it's right there. Like you don't have to like message. Like there's literally no real like communication between me and like people, unless I'm responding to comments or something like that. I don't really have, unless I'm doing the lives with y'all, I don't really have any communication with people, just because I would blow up. My brain would blow up with that many people trying to like connect or talk to me when we're not in the lives, just because I just don't have the bandwidth for that. So that's why I make it super easy, or try to make it super easy for people to find anything and everything out about me. That way they can just go there and do it. They don't have to like message or any of that stuff. So that's the way it's set up. What else? I think that's it. That's all I need to talk about there. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so if you want to ask me about if you want to ask me a question, please be specific. Do I have a message for you? Is not specific. Tell me something about my love life. Is not specific. What do you see for my life? Is not specific. I want a reading. Is not a question. So please ask a specific question. And that way, don't assume I know what you're talking about, because I don't know everything. Psychics don't know everything. We don't see everything. We can sense things. It's a big difference, y'all. A lot of people assume that we know everything. We don't. We only can sense things. So if your question is very vague, I'm probably not going to know what you're talking about. I know I've had people who like, they'll purchase like an e-reading and they'll be like, you know, what does Sheila think? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you asking me about? Like you're assuming that like the moment you mention anything, like I'm downloaded with every single detail of every single thing that you're asking me about. I don't. Like I need to like focus my mind on something. So that's the way it works with me. So if you want to ask me a question about your life, be specific with your question. If you want to ask me about a loved one in spirit, let me know who you want to connect with, and I will try to connect specifically with that individual and maybe bring through a message or something that will validate that they're with you. I don't always know what they're talking about. It's the funniest thing. Even though I'm nosy and I want to know like all of the business, I don't. And when they come through, they typically just like share a message, but I don't always know what they're actually talking about, but I still pass the message on. The person I pass it to knows exactly what they're talking about, even though I'm still the only one left in the dark. That happens all the time with mediumship sessions, which is perfectly okay. I'm fine with that. It actually made me better at being a medium, because whenever I would try to do a mediumship session, and this is for those of you who want to like develop, in the beginning when I was trying to build myself up or build my ability, I believed I had to know exactly what was going on, and I had these like unrealistic expectations. And so I believed that I needed to know what they were talking about or what specifically was going on. I now know that that is not a requirement. All I need to do is pass on the message the way that I'm understanding it, or the way that it's coming through. I don't need to know what's happened or what's gone on in that person's life to get the message across so that they understand it and they receive it well. And ever since I stopped trying to know every single detail or every single thing, it actually actually makes the details much more clear, and it makes more come through more accurately. So for those of you who want to know, you don't need to know everything to be a good psychic or good medium. You just need to be willing to give yourself over to the process and allow yourself to share what's coming through as best as you can, or in the most descriptive way possible. Okay. All right. So I'm going to bounce around here. I'm not going in any particular order. Of course, I will not be able to read all of you because I'm one person, but I'm going to do my very best to cover as many of your questions as I can. Okay, take a drink. I hear you. Casey on Facebook. Hi, Ferny. Do you see my current relationship with my boyfriend working out? Thank you. I don't feel confident about the relationship. I keep seeing two, so I think that y'all may continue to try to work through things in the next 2 months or the next 2 years. But I'm still not thinking that the relationship is going to stick long term. And I feel like you'll end up meeting somebody else in about 2 or 3 years from now. Person's name is Eric or Aaron, I think. So there might be someone that comes in about 2 or 3 years. I'm not thinking you're going to stick with your current boyfriend. No. Germ C3002. Jerry M. Ola. Is someone in my house trying to communicate with me? Does Debbie have a message for me? As far as like in your house, I think that that's just energy or residual, meaning that I think that either you or your significant other are putting out energy. Some of it is because of hormonal changes. I think you are going through some hormonal changes, but I also think that sometimes you stress out or you get anxious. And when you do that, it releases a lot of energy into space. And so people don't realize that sometimes that the ghosts or the hauntings or the poltergeists that they think they have in their home may actually be their own energy that's just kind of being expressed and accumulated into space. I think that's what this is in your situation. I think you're experiencing some of your own energy. So I would call it kind of like what is it? Can't even think of the word. It's whenever, feedback. It's like a psychic feedback. That's what I just coined a new thing, y'all. I just made up a new word to help people understand this. It's called psychic feedback. Basically, when you're energetically sensitive and you're expressing waves of emotion because of anxiety and stress, and if you're also going through hormonal experiences, you will experience, in some instances, psychic feedback. It's your own stuff feeding back to you or to the people in the space. So that's what I think is going on there with that. As far as Debbie is concerned, I keep seeing a horse. I don't know if there's a horse carving or an actual, like a little, what are those, not merry-go-round, but a little carousel. I don't know if it's like horse carousel or a horse carving. There's something there she's making reference to. So there's an acknowledgement for something with that. Okay. Samantha K on YouTube. Hey, Ferny, my grandma passed away last week. Any messages from her? Thank you so much. First of all, she keeps acknowledging the time frame being like bad timing. So usually when they say bad timing, it's usually because someone missed the opportunity to say goodbye. She's doing that because she's covering my mouth. So there may not have been the opportunity to say goodbye, but it also means that there might be a significant date within 30 days. So within 30 days of her passing, there's a significant date, which would be like a birthday or an anniversary, because she's acknowledging that as well. She also keeps acknowledging, it's interesting because even though, it's funny because I'm thinking about the, Jerry's, she was talking about Debbie. I'm hearing it again. So I don't know if there's a D female name also in spirit with her, or she's the D female. But Samantha, I feel like your grandmother's trying to give me this D female name. So that's a reference there as well. It does feel like it may be somebody who's passed. So I'm thinking it's somebody there with her in spirit form as well. She also keeps acknowledging, she's talking about a dream, but I almost feel like I feel like I want to see her, but I think she's talking about a dream. So you might have had a dream, or your mom may have had a dream of her, because she's acknowledging someone having a dream. It feels like a female, someone having a dream. So she's acknowledging that as well. She also keeps acknowledging, it's going to sound weird, I keep thinking of Sesame Street and puppets. I don't know why, but that's what I'm seeing, Sesame Street and puppets. So there's something there that she's making a reference to, okay? Over here. Let's go over here. Brain Ranger. Hi, Ferny. My daughter LR has a mean abscess in her throat area, has an MRI scheduled. Do you see a tumor or cancer? I feel like this is something that's going to get removed. I don't know if it's a tumor or cancer. I do think that it poses a threat and it has to be removed. And in the process of removing it, they may have to kind of dig in or cut into either her thyroid. So there might have to be a partial effect on her thyroid. I still think she will have a functioning thyroid, but I feel like it might affect, or they may have to kind of go into the thyroid a little bit. I do feel that this is going to be something she'll be able to recoup or recover from. So I'm expecting her to go forward, but I do think it's going to be removed just because it's going to start to affect other things. Like she might start having nerve twitches or weird like nerve related sensitivity. And I think that's good. They're going to move it. So to remove it. So I see them removing it. I don't know if it's cancer or, I don't know if it's cancer or not, and I can't even say that it is or not, just because legally I'm not supposed to. But I do think that it needs to be removed, or it could continue to expand and start to... I'm actually more concerned about it getting bigger and crushing into the thyroid, which is why I think it's going to end up getting removed. So I think that would be the reason why it's removed, not because it would be like cancer. So I'm not thinking it's cancer, okay? Let's go here. Pat 8787. Do I have any past lives? Any advice in my love life? Yeah, you were a prisoner on Alcatraz in one of your most recent past lives. So you might have actually served or been at Alcatraz at some point in one of your most recent lifetimes. You're a male, of course. I almost want to say that your name, I'm seeing Bob Dylan. I want to say it was Bob or Bobby. Yeah, I don't think it's Dylan. I would say it's Bob or Bobby. So your name would be Bob or Bobby. Can I get a last name? It is a D, the last name I want to say. See if I can get it. It would be interesting if there's something there with the full name. I want to say the first name's Bob or Bob, which would be like William. And I feel like the second name is like Dreschen or Dreshan or Dresden. It's got like a sound like that. So you might have to look it up. I don't know enough about Alcatraz to validate that, but you might need to look into that. But I feel like it's got that sound to it. So it's almost like William Dresden, but it might go by Bobby, or they maybe have been known by Bobby. Okay. I don't think you died there. I think you just were there for a little while. So there might be something in the records that you can find. Okay. Hey, Ferny, any messages from my sweet Jayla? Yeah, first of all, I keep seeing like, what is it? You know those swings that babies are in? I keep seeing like a swing. So I don't know if there's like a rocker or a swing that is connected to Jayla, but I keep seeing something like that. So there's a reference there. I also keep seeing, it's funny because I keep seeing animal crackers or like the shapes of animals. So I don't know if there's something artistically done where it's got like the animals would have been a significant thing for them. They also keep acknowledging the necklaces, and there might be two. So there might be two necklaces connected to them. Okay. Razadu, hey Fernie, my deceased friend Ryan came to me in a dream in all white. Can you connect with him? Yeah, what's interesting is he keeps showing me crystal. I don't know if you have a special stone or a rock, or have I don't know if you have an altar. If you have a place where you kind of put stuff on, I almost feel like I want to move something or acknowledge someone. And he's making reference to that or acknowledging that. He also keeps acknowledging, I feel like I'm hearing California. I don't know why I'm hearing California Love. California Love. It's like the old, like it was a Dr. Dre. He just had like a stroke, I think. I'm hearing that. I don't know if he was into like old school rap or he was into old school music or you've been listening to old school music, but he's making reference to that. So there's an acknowledgement there as well. He also keeps acknowledging himself, even though in the dream he was wearing a white, he was dressed in white. He is acknowledging having something white on the head. So I don't know if you have a picture of him or if you remember him wearing like something white on his head, or if you are actually wearing something white on his head and he's bringing attention to that. Okay. He says you can use him if you want to, that he'll help you. Let's go over here. Miriam on YouTube. Hi, Ferny. When will I go into labor? Will baby be a Capricorn or an Aquarius? I have no idea. I don't even know what month is for what. People always assume because I'm psychic that I know about astrology or that. And it's funny because on my I think it's Instagram or on my Facebook, it does have it as astrologer. It's not because I'm an astrologer, y'all. It's because it didn't give me any options. It's either like they automatically assume that everybody who's psychic is also an astrologer. I have no idea because I don't really follow along with astrology or with tarot meanings. I don't do any of that stuff. It's just never really like interested in me. So I don't know if they're going to be a Capricorn or Aquarius. I do think that the baby's going to... There's two... you might actually start having contractions a little early. It might be like about like 2.5 weeks before the due date, but I don't think you'll actually have the baby then. I think you'll be pretty much on point with the due date. So, but I think you might start having contractions or having something that's like a contraction, but it's not a full-blown going into labor a couple of weeks before the baby arrives. Okay, but I think you're going to be pretty much on the time frame for when the baby's going to be born. Hey, Kristen Mary Ferny. Hey there, please tell me if I'm making the right choice with my finances. I don't want you to overspend or overinvest or put too much money towards changes, because I feel like if you put too much money, it will not feel completely worth it. I do think that you are making some good decisions, but I feel like I don't want you to... The way I want to describe it is, for example, let's say I have like a retirement account and I'm going to take out a bunch of money and it's more than I even need. It's almost like using too much money or putting too much money towards something that's not necessary. That's how I want to describe it. So you might need to pull back a little bit or be a little more conservative in your spending. Okay. If you're more specific about the actual financial situation, like the issue that you want clarity on, maybe I can tune in more into that. Cause I'm not like, for me, I'm just seeing it as like a general financial event or changes this year. So that's how I'm seeing it in my head. Brenda Barca, will I get a job this month? I expect you to get a job. No, not in January. I'm thinking February-ish, early February-ish, just what I'm thinking. Natalia. Wow, hello. Did I really win a reading? I don't know. Did you? If your name was like, when I was like giving people readings, when I was like offering that, like what was it, last week, where I gave away 3 free readings, if your name was like on the list there, then yeah. But if your name wasn't on that list, then no. Jessica Arias Presas. Hey, Ferny, I am trying to get pregnant. Do you see it happening soon or in the near future? I want to say March of next year. So I'm not thinking it's going to happen this year. I'm thinking it may not happen until March of next year, or spring of next year, 2022. Okay. Catherine Haley. Hey, Ferny. Any messages from my children's dad? He passed March 1st. His brother, the 7th. He passed March 1st. His brother, the 7th of this month. I don't know. I don't understand everything that you wrote there, but you're just asking about your children's dad. First of all, he keeps acknowledging he's making fun of his teeth. So I don't know if he had funny teeth or he was always joking about teeth, but he's like making fun of his teeth. So he's just like doing that. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. He also keeps acknowledging, it's funny because he just showed me a pumpkin. I'm like, what are you showing me a pumpkin for? I'm seeing a pumpkin. So there's something there. Yeah, he might be referencing his teeth in a pumpkin, but I don't even know if that's what he's meaning or if he's trying to twist that into something else. He is acknowledging the number 7. So there's a 7. He is acknowledging the number 7. I don't know if it's the same 7th that you're talking about or if this is a different 7th, but it's either the 7th of a month or the month of July. He also keeps acknowledging the 17th as well. So there's another date of significance, which is the 17th of a month as well. So he's making reference to that. He also keeps acknowledging the balloons. So I don't know if y'all took him balloons for the birthday or if y'all bought balloons for him just to honor him, but he's making reference to balloons. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you, Shorty. He just says Shorty. I don't know if one of the kids is called Shorty or someone was referred to as Shorty by him, but he's making reference to Shorty. He also keeps acknowledging messing with the games or with the games or the games. So if they ever find their games messed with or like kind of weird or randomly thrown everywhere, that may be him trying to let them know that he's around them. Okay. But it's like games like I'm thinking about video games because that's what I'm reminded of is like video games. Okay. Gabby de la Cruz. Hey, Fernie. Why do I keep dreaming either a baby boy or a girl? I actually think that someone's about to announce that they're pregnant. So I think you might be sensing someone else being pregnant, but I do feel like there's going to be an announcement in the next month or two where someone's pregnant or a baby's coming into the family. Okay. Rhonda Faye Ware. Faye Ware or Faye Weir. Hey Fernie, does my niece Chloe have any messages for me or her mom? Does she leave us any signs? Thank you. Yes, so first of all, thank you. She is acknowledging trying to fight it. She is acknowledging the 11th, so the 11th is connected, either the 11th of a month or November. She also keeps acknowledging March, so March is connected, or the 3rd of a month is connected as well, because she's referencing that. She also keeps acknowledging 2 children in spirit with her, so 2 babies either were miscarried, lost, or terminated, or there's connection to 2 babies in spirit with her, because she's referencing that as well. She also keeps acknowledging a cap or a hat that has something on the side. So there might be something like that that's connected to her that she has, where it has like something on the side as well. She also keeps acknowledging, thank you. She's showing me a bracelet, so there might be a bracelet connection to her. She is also showing me ladybugs, so ladybugs might be a symbol from her. Dragonflies might be another one, but I want to stick with ladybugs because I'm kind of seeing the ladybug shape as well. So there's a reference to that. Okay. Read Kira. Do you still see the job change for me? Hasn't happened yet. Yeah, you might need to wait one more month because I don't feel like it's that far from now. So I would say give it about a month or so. And I think that that'll be when it kind of starts to change, or you might hear about it in a couple of weeks. Sam the cute penguin. Will my eye surgery go okay and healing? I feel like the eye surgery will be fine. I don't know if you've done the other one because I feel like at some point both eyes are going to get worked on. But I feel like the eye surgery will go fine. I also feel like the healing will actually go much more quickly or faster than anticipated. However, if you start to have weird headaches or you start to have weird pressure in your head, you probably need to follow that up with a doctor because it could be it could be blood pressure related. It may not have anything to do with the eye because you might, once you have the surgery, you might think, okay, I got pain in my head or I got pressure in my head, thinking that it's got something to do with the eye. It may actually have to do with your blood pressure. So you need to keep an eye on your blood pressure. Lisa Yvonne, 2021. Hey, Ferny, will I be in a serious relationship? I feel like you can be a bit picky and sometimes your expectations are not realistic. So you got to work on that. You got to learn how to be a little bit more open and receptive to the right people. I do think that there will be an opportunity for a relationship in 18 months. So it's going to be a while before I think you get into something that's going to be a little long-term or serious. Okay. I feel like throwing up, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I almost feel nauseous and I almost feel like throwing up. It's just the weirdest thing. It's like, I got the headache. I assumed the headache was from my argument because I had a little bit of a tiff-taff with my partner. We were talking about the bills and being on budget and staying on budget. And I was like, we need to do this to stay on budget. So I thought that's where my headache came from that disagreement. But now I'm like feeling kind of sickly. Like I want to feel like I want to throw up, which is weird because I don't ever feel nauseous. I haven't had a cold. I haven't had any illnesses or sick or colds in almost 3 years. Can y'all believe that? Almost 3 years. Ever since I moved here, have not got a cold, have not had any issues come up since then. And I know it's not COVID because we don't go out in public, so it has nothing to do with COVID. But it's just the weirdest thing. Almost feel like nauseous, like I feel sick to my stomach and I want to throw up. It's just the weirdest. It's almost like when you hear, it's that feeling when you hear a story about something that is just so disgusting and you can't even fathom that it could happen, or it's like the idea is like when you hear about someone this person molested their child, makes you sick to your, that's the feeling that someone would do this or cause, that's how I'm feeling, y'all. So it's just the weirdest feeling. And normally when I'm doing these, I'm pretty good at keeping those boundaries. So it's not like I'm taking on a spirits and they're trying to take over. No, it's nothing to do with that. This is something else. So it's just the weirdest feeling that I have. Abelos Roxanne. Hi, I am falling for someone and we've been seeing each other for over a year. Does he feel the same way about me? I think that he does feel that way. However, I also feel like he needs to get it together because I think that his life is it doesn't feel consistent or stable to me. So I think it's one of those things okay, well, this truck could take you to California, but if the tires are busted up, you ain't gonna make it. That's how I feel about this person. I feel like they've got the intent and then the opportunities there, but their life's a bit of a mess. So if anything, I wouldn't expect too much to come from that person right now, just because of that person's situation and what they're having to deal with. Okay. Also, even if they date someone else or they spend some time with someone else, I wouldn't take it as a rejection, because I don't think it's that. It's just that they sometimes like attention and make them feel better. Let me go over here. Jessica Chavez. I wonder if it's Jessica Chavez and you just spelled it this way. If not, then that's an interesting name. I wanted to ask if me and my husband will get our new apartment by this year. We've been trying really hard. Yeah, there's 2 apartments that are going to try. The first one, there might be some weirdness with the credit and getting that, so that the first one might be a little bit weird. The second one feels like it's fine. I'm not expecting y'all though till towards the end of the year, maybe even around September. Okay, the first one may come up around May, or y'all may try around May, but that's not going to work. And then September is when the other one may come up, and I think at that point y'all will end up getting the apartment. Yeah, Lisa Henderson. Hi, Ferny. You're awesome. Thank you. I've been missing my parents so much over the holidays. This was the first one without them both. Would they have any words for me, please? Yeah. What's interesting is, as you say that, I keep seeing an image on the wall, and it's like them dancing together, and that's what they're showing me, like them dancing together. So there might be a picture or a video that is either y'all just saw this or you have this up that has them together, like almost dancing, which is funny because I feel like one of your parents didn't really dance, or they didn't really care for it, but they're still dancing. So it's almost like almost like a joke, but not. So there's a reference there. I keep thinking of the name Taylor. I don't know why. So they're referencing Taylor. So either there's a person by the name of Taylor that they're trying to acknowledge, or Taylor is significant and they're wanting to acknowledge that person, Taylor. So there's a reference there. There also keeps acknowledging, it's funny, the person right after you is Taylor. Interestingly enough, I didn't see that. Yes. Billy, I'll come down to you next, because in case your loved ones are trying to butt in, I want to make sure that I don't miss that opportunity for you. Back to Lisa. Lisa, they are acknowledging, thank you. Your dad is acknowledging rainbows. I keep seeing rainbows in the sky. So rainbows are going to be connected to dad. Also, there might be something that ends up hanging on like the mirror in the car, or like I see something hanging. So there's a reference to something hanging on the mirror or on the glass that they're making reference to. I keep seeing the American flag, so I don't know if your dad was in the military or you have a flag that is connected to your father, because I'm seeing that as well. Okay. Billy Taylor. Okay. Any message from my cousin Bo? Yeah. So first of all, they're acknowledging the number 31. So the 31st of a month is significant, or March 1st is significant. They're also acknowledging the letter J. So I kind of feel like I want to say JJ or Joe or J, Joe. There's a reference to something like that, but it's a short J, like Jay or Joe. It's a short 3-letter J that they're making reference to. They're also acknowledging, okay. I don't know if there's a picture of them wearing a wig, because I almost feel like I'm seeing, it's like they're trying to show me the idea of like wearing a wig or like having fake hair on. So they're acknowledging this for some reason. The only thing I can think of that would be associated with that is either they had cancer and they're acknowledging this, or there's actually like a funny picture of them wearing a wig and they're making fun of themselves. But they're just acknowledging that as well. They also keep acknowledging that they cause the light to blow out or cause the light to pop. So y'all might have had some weird light or electrical issues in the property or in the home, because they're acknowledging popping the light. So there's a reference there. Okay. It might even be like the outdoor porch light or the outdoor light, because I almost feel like I'm reminded of, like, whenever you walk up to someone's house and there's a light there and there's the bulb, that's almost what I'm reminded of. But there's a reference to that. Okay. Stephanie Lerma Bashinsky. Hey, Fernie, I just lost my son at 18 weeks pregnant. Do you see me having any more children? And how soon? Thank you. So it feels like there's going to be 3. Like, it's because I saw the number 3. So I feel like there's either going to be 3 attempts and then you get it, to stick. But I feel like the baby's going to come back. So this is a cycle. People don't understand this sometimes, that when a soul is trying to use a life experience that is best set up for them. Okay. Feeling a little nauseous again. When a baby doesn't make it and they're supposed to be born to a specific person because that person's soul has, that life is going to give them what they need, what they tend to do is they tend to recycle. They come back in. They're like, oh crap, I missed the bus. I got to get in the next one. It's just like that. So it's not like it's a lost soul. It's just that the timing wasn't right or something didn't go the way it was supposed to. And sometimes babies will actually abort themselves on an energy level, because if something isn't progressing the way it's supposed to with the body of the baby, then, and it's not going to match up to what they had planned in their lifetime, they are like, oh crap, like this isn't going to work. And they pull back and they're like, I'm going to try again. I'm going to try again. That's what tends to happen. And so I feel like it was this situation in this instance. I do believe that you are going to have another baby. I also think that December is significant because I'm seeing baby energy around you in December. So it means that December may be when you're pregnant again, when you're celebrating your baby shower, or when you're actually having the baby. So it may not take you that long, okay? But I do think that the baby soul is going to come back in because they're supposed to be born to you. Thanks, guys. And I'm just starting to catch up to people. It's like, I hope you feel better. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm pretty good. I'm like a tough cookie. I'm one of those types where I could probably be dying and you would never know it, just because I don't find it beneficial to me to just sit there and cry about it. Like, okay, it's either this is how I feel or I'm fine. And if this is how I feel, then okay, do I need to like, am I good to go forward, or do I need to like completely shut down? Most times I'm like, no, I'm gonna power through. Like, I gotta do what I gotta do, so I'm gonna power through. It's just the way it is. And I've always been that way. Even back at Starbucks when I worked there, I think Starbucks trained me to be that way, actually, because if I was sick, I was a store manager. I couldn't afford to be sick. I needed to get my ass and go to work, and that's what I would do. Stephanie's like, put some tea tree oil on your temples. I would love to, but it's poisonous, I believe, to cats. And so we always have to be careful of what we use, because there are stories of cats where if like a drop of something that they're allergic to gets on their skin, then their kidneys fail and they die. So that's why we're super careful about what we use in the house with the cats, because we do not want them to get sick or to have there be an accident. Gloria, y'all are cracking me up. Y'all are so hysterical. Gloria Cedric, she's like, eat dark chocolate or drink caffeine for your headache. I had dark chocolate for lunch because that was my lunch, and I've been drinking coffee all day. So it ain't the coffee and it ain't the chocolate. It's like I've got plenty of that today, so I'm good with that. It's funny. Y'all make me laugh sometimes. Some days, like, y'all make my day. I just want all of y'all to know that. Even though some of you are like brand new to my, to the lives, I just want you to know I love y'all. All of y'all. I love all of y'all. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I would not be alive if I wasn't here to just like give to y'all love. So I'm here for y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all make my life worth living. Funny. I'm just reading the random questions, and I'm trying to find like a question that I'm energetically up for. She's like, can we book an appointment sooner? Next available is June. I would like something sooner. Unfortunately, it just depends on the type of appointment. Mediumship, I only do like one mediumship appointment a day, just because it takes a lot of energy to do mediumship. Some days I do two, depending on if I'm going to do a live or not that day. But for the most part, there's only so many of those available in a month. I also just had to like increase an additional appointment type for my students, because I have a lot of students who are training one-on-one with me, because they're doing their mentorship. And so I spend like time sitting with people, training them how to do this so that they can do this just as well, if not better than I. And I have so many students now coming in that there isn't enough time available for them. So I had to open up a spot in the week specifically for those students, so they will always have like a spot in the week or a couple of spots in the week that they can use, just to make sure, because they're trying to book it in advance, but there's only so many spots available. Angelina Mosqueda. I lost my brother in October and I miss him so much. Tomorrow is his birthday. Will he be there? Yeah, Angela, are you on here? I think I'm ready to bring somebody on, actually, because my head is starting to get better. Let's see. Here we go. See, if you're on Instagram, I might bring you on as a video. Angelino. Because I can only do the video on Instagram. I don't see you. That's okay. I'll just respond to your question. Let's Let's see, what was the question? I lost my brother in October. Got it. First of all, he keeps acknowledging, okay. Okay, I keep seeing a star, almost reminded of a star, like, you know, when you think of like the Dallas Cowboys, or when you think of like a sports team, I'm almost reminded of like a star shape, and then I'm seeing like blues that remind me of like a sports team. So I don't know if there's a Texan thing that he was into, or there's something about a star and being in Texas, but there's a reference there because he's acknowledging that. He also keeps, thank you, he just said Jordan. So there's a reference to a Jordan, I believe. There's a Jordan connection because he's trying to bring up a Jordan. He also keeps referencing, thank you. I don't know if your mom had a little dog or y'all had a little dog and it was known as the baby, but he's referencing there's like the baby's there, but it feels like it's an animal or dog. So there's a reference to that as well. He also keeps acknowledging, okay, the prayer card. I don't know if you still have his prayer card, or you keep it next to your, nightstand or in the car, but he's referencing the prayer card, so there's a reference there as well. He's doing this, so I don't know if y'all make shirts connected to him, or there's a color that y'all wore, everybody wore in honor of him, because he's almost doing that reference as well. To answer your question, he will be there to look out for fussy birds. So he's like, he will be there. Look out for fussy birds, or for white. It's not a full-blown dove. It almost feels like it would be a pigeon, but it's like a white colored pigeon. Okay. Over here. Oh, my headache's coming back. It's like, I thought it was like done. I was like, oh yeah, it's gone. And then it's like, came right back in. So I was like, okay. I'm almost worried something's going to be happening tonight, y'all. That's probably why I'm feeling this way. I even thought this, like a couple of days ago, I was laying in bed and I kept hearing 2 days. And I'm like, okay, 2 days for what? And then they didn't finish it. So I'm like, okay, 2 days, and today's like 2 days. Interestingly enough, today is Martin Luther King's birthday. So I was actually going to post something about that earlier. I just didn't have enough time. But I've been worried that today there's going to be something going on. But I mean, it may just be me because I'm on edge. So I do expect there to be more drama, because I've been saying this for a while now. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That what I'm feeling might be what's about to happen, or what's going on. Here's a example of what not to ask. What do you see for me in store this year? Literally what I said. Like, make it a specific question. Don't have this open-ended question. That's literally like a full reading. I literally spend 30 minutes when I do readings for people to cover like what's going to happen for you this year. That's what a life analysis is. So that's pretty much what you just asked. Life analysis, Ferny? No, girl, you need to book an appointment or ask one question. I might get to you. And for those of you, I know some of you are like, you're not answering as many questions, but you're talking a lot more. Yeah, because my head hurts, y'all. That's the reason why. It's just not because I don't want to. It's just like, it's just a painful headache. That's all. So I'm trying to like muster through. So no, I don't need any sympathy, y'all. I'm getting through it. It's my choice to put myself and to force myself to work when I'm going through stuff. So don't worry about it. It's all right. It's all right. VG222. Hi, Ferny. I'm so lost in what direction to go as far as making a living. What do you see me doing in this area? And does my dad have any messages or advice for me? Yeah, as far as your dad is concerned, he keeps, it's interesting to keep reminded of like a lollipop. You know, when you go to a doctor's office and they give you a lollipop? I don't know if your dad was into lollipops or there was a lollipop joke about your dad, but I'm seeing that. He also keeps referencing the number 27. So the number 27 is connected either February 7th or the 27th of a month. He also keeps making reference to Bill. So don't know if he is Bill or he's referencing Bill because there's an acknowledgement there as well. He also keeps acknowledging, he also said JR. So there might be a junior. So either he's the junior also, or he's referencing the junior and wanting to acknowledge the junior as well. What was your question? What was the other question? I'm so lost. Promoting, marketing, advertising, events. That's what I see around you. So you might need to look into that because there may be something there that you could actually do really well with, but it feels like it's like promoting, marketing, advertising events. But it's not like the standard like, oh, weddings or no, it's not, that's not what I'm talking about when I say events. I'm talking about more like farmers markets or branding for people who have new businesses. Like that stuff, I feel like there's something there that you might be really good at. All of the time you spend on social media or all the time you learn stuff by watching people or social media, you can apply it and make it a job for yourself or a career for yourself to actually offer it to other people as well, or going into small businesses or private businesses. They may be able to use someone like you. Cute guys in their pictures, right? Letitia97, hope you feel better. Do you see a promotion in my future? I do actually see a promotion in about a month and a half, maybe 2 at the most. So in a couple of months, there might be some changes for your position. Lolly bro, I think that's what it is. Lolly bro. Hi Ferny. Any messages from my aunt Elaine? We miss her. Yes, she keeps acknowledging. It's interesting because she's showing me. I don't think she looked this way, but this is what she's showing me. So I'm trying to figure out what she's. I almost feel like she's trying to acknowledge that the grandmother is there. Or there's a grandmother with her. I keep seeing. A few days ago, I had a client and I was connecting with her mom for her, and in the picture her mom was like sitting down. She had glasses and she had like Betty White style hair, like you know, color, kind of white colored, but it was a little shorter. I'm seeing that. I don't know why, so I don't know if that's how she looked or she's trying to make a reference to this female that's with her that's like a Cinda. There's a Sandy sounding name that she's also acknowledging as well. So there's a reference there. She is acknowledging butterflies, and she's actually showing me watercolor pictures. So I don't know if she ever did watercolors, or if there's a watercolor thing that's connected somehow as well, because she's showing me a reference to that also. Okay. There's a dog there with her. It almost feels like it's either a greyhound or it's a type of hound, because I keep seeing a dog that's in spirit with her as well that might be connected to the family. Okay, let me go over here. Let's see how much time we still got. A little time left, and then I'm gonna jump off. I'm still doing the study group, y'all, because I didn't do it last week, and I commit myself to these things, so I have to follow through. So I'm gonna do the study group after this, but I've got a little more time left before I need to jump off and go to the study group stuff. Michelle Gillard on Facebook. Can you tell me when and how my back will be healed? It's been 3 months of relentless pain, and I have tried so many things. I am exhausted. I feel like this is gonna be a couple of things. The craziest thing that I'm seeing about this, which makes no sense to me at all, because I've never seen anything like this with regards to a back. I keep seeing a triangle shape. Now, I know that when people end up having procedures or they have something done to their back, it's usually like, you know, like plates or like lines, you know, right on each side or whatever. I'm seeing a triangle, and I don't really know why. So I don't know if it's because something is angular in your back and it's not positioned in a way that is allowing for proper flexibility, or if it's almost like something angular, like kind of pushing in, or there's going to be a procedure that requires like a plate that's like a triangle or an angular. It's the weirdest thing. I've never seen that before. So there's something there that's referencing that. I feel like you're going to end up dealing with 2 other specialists. So I don't think that the doctor that you've been dealing with is the one you're going to stick with. I think you're going to actually end up going over to another physician who's going to then send you to another physician. The last physician that you go to is someone that's from the military that deals with combat related trauma or like events with the body, like when someone's like in an explosion or whatever. But I feel like that person will be the person that will help you make your back better or will help things get better. I am not expecting you to have zero pain, but I am expecting you to have a significant amount less of pain. I also think that part of the issue is the way that your hips are situated, because you might either have a angular hips or your hips are slightly offset, and it's almost adding additional pressure to the lower back as well. And I don't feel like they've done enough to even get that right. So there's almost like a couple of different things that I think are contributing or affecting that. But I feel that things will get better, but it might take a little bit of time. I don't think you're going to go into 2022 with these issues. I think that by summertime, there'll be a plan in place and you just have to go through the process. I do think you're going to have to go through some sort of physical therapy just because it may be required from the insurance company, even though I don't think you're actually going to need to train to do anything after the procedure. So I do think there is going to be a procedure. Okay. Casbo Haribu, greetings all the way from Britain. Is there any messages for me? Yeah, it's not a specific person, but I saw the British flag, and I love me some Brits. So actually, we've been watching RuPaul's Drag Race, the UK edition. So, but my partner and I, we are like obsessed. I'm gonna tell you right now because we're obsessed with series out of Great Britain. Like, we're obsessed. Like, he's like obsessed with Doc Martin. We're watching this other one. It's from PBS. It's called like all God's Creatures, Big and Small. I think that's what it's called. I love my Rosemary in Time. The show Rosemary in Time. There was a really good series called Afterlife, and it was about a medium, and the two main characters was Allison. I think it was Allison Mundy, or maybe that was her name in the show. And there was another character, and it's one of the main characters from that show that was really big in the US. What was it called? With the zombies? I forgot what it's called. Or anyways, the zombie show that was a huge, the After Dead, or whatever, I don't know, whatever the zombie show was that everybody was like into. I didn't watch it because it's too violent for me. But he was the main character in one of that. People didn't even know that he had an accent, that he's from the UK or from Britain. But he speaks American in the show. So The Walking Dead, that's what it was, The Walking Dead. Coming back to you, Casbo, because you're like, what are you talking about, Ferny? There is first of all, look out for white cats, because they like to mess with a white cat, or they try to get your attention through cats. So if you have a white cat coming around, that's a sign or symbol from someone. I do think there's an older female, like a mother figure or a grandmother figure. This female, I want to say that she had some sort of blood disorder, or there was a blood infection or blood issue that affected her passing. She also keeps acknowledging the birthday or a date of significance on someone else's date as well. So your birthday month, they may share that month with you, or there may be a connection to the dates because she's acknowledging that. She also keeps referencing, it's funny because she's doing this, almost like she's trying to make a gesture. So I don't know if there's a symbol or a sign that has to do with pulling of the ear, or there's just simply, she had a habit of like always pulling on her earrings or on her ear for some reason, because she's doing that as well. She also keeps acknowledging a picture with a shirt or a sweater that has like a zigzag. There's almost like a zigzag pattern on the shirt or the sweater. And it's like a picture that she's making reference to. And there might even be some colors, because I almost feel like I feel like I'm seeing like either red or blues, but it looks like a zigzag. And she's making reference to that. Okay. Let's see. Luisa Pretorius on YouTube. Will I meet someone ever to love after 10 years of divorce? So this is a process. You got to do some work. I think you got to work on some changes to your energy, because I think you have these barriers up and it's just taking too much work. And not only that, you're not allowing yourself to be truly open and authentic in a way that is positive. A lot of times when people are trying to meet people or just put themselves out there, they present a version of themselves, and then after maybe a few months or a couple of months, people's like true personalities or nature starts to show, and then it's almost like they revert to what's normal or authentic for them. I feel like you may need to like work on letting your guard down, and then I also think that you need to be more authentic in what you're presenting, because you don't need to be ideal or perfect. Just present yourself. You're a lovable person. You can be loved. You don't need to like make yourself look like you're deserving of love, because you are deserving of love. You don't need to do that to yourself. I do think that there is going to be another relationship. It might take you a little while though, because I'm not seeing it right away. It might take another 2 or 3 years before somebody comes into the picture. Person's name is W. Excuse me. Oh, thank you. What is it? It's W. What? W A. What? It's just W-A. I can't get the rest of it. I almost want to say there's an S, but that doesn't sound right. It's like, it could be Wesley, but it's like a W-A sounding name. 3 years. So I think there will be someone that comes up in 3 years. There's a really good audiobook that I would recommend. It's called The Power of Vulnerability by Brene Brown. I think it'll help you work on some of those things. Okay. I think I'm going to answer a couple more, guys, and then I think I'm going to stop. Lovely dolls and toys. Hello, dear Ferny. Please, how many spirit guides and angels do I have, and how are they called? So you have 2 guides. The main guide's name is a female. I want to say her name is Patricia, because it sounds like a Patty. So there's a Patricia guide. And then the secondary guide, Owen, like a Owen name, I think. Owe, Owa. I think it's Owen. The closest thing to it's going to be like Owen, I think. Guides, angels don't have names. I know people were like, what are you talking about? Like, what about Archangel Raphael or Michael or Metatron or whatever? Like, people are obsessed with angels. And they tend to confuse guides with angels. So people talk about angels, like Doreen Virtue, they talk about angels, but they're actually talking about guides, because angels are not like people like we are. People don't become angels. People are just people. The energy of angels is kind of a pure form of love. Now, people have given them names, but when you think of like the angels from like the Bible and the stories of the Bible, etc., those were actually guides that they just, there's no conversation about guides in the Bible. That's because the angels in the Bible were guides. They were these, these individuals who had actual names. But angels are just pure love and energy, and they typically tend to reflect whatever we see as beautiful. So if I think of a certain feature or a certain thing as beautiful, what I would encounter if I ever saw an angel would be the version of that. And that's how angels are. But it's just pure love and energy. It's not really necessarily a physical thing. It's more of an emotional experience in that way. So they don't really have names. But those are your guides. People are going to like fight me on that. They're going to be like, how dare you? You know what you're talking about. And, I've seen angel. I know angel. I talked to angel. Like, I didn't say you couldn't believe in what you wanted to believe in. I never said you had to believe in what I believe in. I'm just going based off of my own experiences and what I've encountered because of the work that I do. So when I read something in a book and a person says that they're an expert, I don't automatically give them the benefit of being an expert unless they can give me an example of when they can verify that. Because a lot of people call themselves experts to a lot of things, but they don't give you receipts. They don't give you an actual example of when that's occurred or how they know this to be true. And so this is why, that's why I've only spoken to guides. I've never spoken to anything that call themselves angels. Okay. One more question, I think, and I think that's going to be it for me. Here's another one. Lolly Lola. Hi, Ferny. Can you please tell me my spirit guide's name? Does he have a message for me? I like how you said he, like assuming that it was already he. It is a he, actually. His name is, it's funny because it sounds like a female name, but it's a male. It's like Justine. It's like Justin, but it's not Justin. It's Justine, but it's a male. I've never heard of that, so I don't know what that's about, but that's the name. you need to be careful when you're driving, or watch what you're doing when you're on the road, because you are either getting too distracted or you're not watching what's going on. So they're like almost acknowledging, have focus or pay attention when you're in a vehicle. Okay. All right, guys. And don't freak out. Don't think, oh my God, for the next 20 years, I need to like be paranoid. No, like just in the next month or two, like just be careful or be cautious, or just if you're a bad driver, fix it. Fix it. Okay. All right, guys. I love you all. I will be back next Wednesday for readings as well. I'm about to jump off and then I'm going to get back on to do